um, which also kind of, leads quite perfectly into what we're going to talk about, which is magnetism and just how important it is to. I'm just going to dive straight in, by the way, because my channel's pretty open. So I'm just going to fly with it and allow whatever wants to come out for you to come out. Where we are currently living in our reality, magnetism is becoming more important than ever before. We're living in a space where literally instant manifestation, we've all heard about and talked about instant manifestation will happen when we, shift dimensions. And it's been a thing that, like, so many of us have known about for a long time, but it's literally here right now. And so more than ever is so important to be aware of what our energy field is doing, what our thoughts are doing, what we're calling in, because what you're calling in is going to arrive fast and it's going to slap you on the butt if you're calling in the things that you don't actually want. But if you're calling in the things that you do want, you've got this opportunity right now with this wave of energy that's here to be supercharged and to kind of, like, literally, I mean, who in their right mind can birth, and like, I just birthed a temple and a company and all the branding in that I didn't know I was ever going to do in 24 hours. Like, that's just ridiculous. But that's literally where we're at right now, is that you get the hit and you get the download, and if it's what you're supposed to be doing, it's going to come through instantly. So we need to be in this space of being prepared to ride that energetic wave and no longer getting that hit and going, like, maybe that probably sounds like a nice idea. I'll add that into, like, my journal list of things that I might do one day. Leave the journal list of all the downloads that have been coming through in the past, whatever, they can happen later. But anything that's starting to come through now, literally jump on the energetic wave and roll with it and move fast with it. Because if you don't move fast with it, it's not going to come through in the same intensity, and people are going to feel the way it's coming through you right now. Like, for example, yesterday I did a Facebook Live in my private group, uh, basically about this mystery school that's landed, this temple that's landed through me. And I've never had that many people on the live, like 115 comments. That live is still going absolutely crackers and insane. I didn't do anything different other than I just pressed the live button, but people are feeling where the energy is at right now. So more than ever, it's like, how do we, our biggest job in every single day right now when we wake up is, how do I get myself into a good state, into a good energetic state, and get myself into flow. And we have this amazing supercharging ability to get up and, where's my Healy? It's out of reach. To get up and put out, like, feel like shit when we wake up in the morning and go, I don't want to do any of this. This is all too hard. I hate it. I can't get in flow. I can't create anything. And put on our Healy and supercharge ourselves and change that state really, really fast. It's just a matter of starting to recognize, when are we out? When are we out of alignment? And how can we bring ourselves and keep on taking self-responsibility to bring ourselves back into alignment? And that's how we start to call in our soulmate team, our soulmate clients, our soulmate people around us. And anyone who was on the last call that I was on for Healy, I was saying, I don't sell. I literally don't sell. I have not sold in my business. I have a successful business that I've had for 6 years. And I did one sales call once because a business coach told me I should do a sales call. I was like, that's stupid. I don't do sales calls. The way it works for me is people Facebook message me and say, please, can I do your course? And it'll be like $2,500 US. And I say, yep, cool, no problem. Here's the invoice, and they pay it and they're in. That for me is a sales call. And that's not normal. That is unusual. Most people need to do a gazillion posts, and they need to do sales funnels, and they need to do sales calls. Like, that is just the normal reality of how it is for most people, but it's not been like that for me. And so when I've sat in any type of business mentoring or done any of those type of trainings, I've always been really confused of, like, what I don't understand, because that's not my reality. And then I started to realize, oh, right, I just have something different that other people don't have, and I can share it with other people and be like, here, like, have this piece as well. I want everyone who's in my sphere for it to be easeful and for you to just wake up and there are your clients and they're messaging you and they're saying, I literally had a message this morning when I got up from someone who watched my live yesterday about the temple that I'm just launching. And I said, I'm going to start doing courses in January. She's literally like, well, how can I, here's my credit card. I don't know what you're doing, but where do you need my money? Like, I'm in, I want in, I don't even know how much it is, but please, can you please take my credit card? She was serious. Like, that's just like, what? But that happens to me all the time. And so what I want for us as a Healy team is to be able to be in that energetic space where you don't have to sell Healy. I don't want any of us to have to sell Healy. Healy sells itself. We don't have to sell. All we have to do is show up and be in a really genuine, energetic space and share about it genuinely. Do posts that are like, oh my God, I love this device. This is amazing. And let people feel that energy rather than have them feel this is my well-crafted sales post that I've done for you, and here's my lead, my call to action at the end on what you should be doing so that you can come and get my Healy. Because we've all experienced it. It's kind of like when you walk into a retail shop and you've literally taken one step in the door and the salesperson is like, can I help you? And you're like fuck, can I spend a moment to breathe in here and get comfortable and look at stuff? It's the energy that we're putting things out in that makes all the difference. When we just had that Healy promo, I think I shared with some of you, I signed up 18 people to Healy whilst I was on holidays, and all I did was 3 Facebook posts. It didn't do anything else. Everybody was just messaging me saying, I want to sign up to Healy with you. I want to sign up to Healy with you. All I needed to do was send people links, do a few scans, leave some voice messages for people so that they got to understand what vibe was I creating in my team so that they could get that sense of who I was and whether I was a fit. And that was it. And it's not because I have any special following or anything like that. It was on my private Facebook page. And that's where we can all start to sit and be into that alignment where people are just literally coming and asking you. You're never having to ask them. We're not having to say, hey, I got this thing. Do you want it? They're like, what is going on with you? And why are you different? And however you're different, I want that thing. Which is then where you can go, cool, well, Healy is why I'm different. I'm using this device every day. I'm using this in my business. By the way, it happens to be also making me some money. So maybe you might want to be involved on that side. So that's where I feel like I want to support, and where my superpower is in supporting our team to get to that place. And it's interesting. So I've known this about myself for six years. Those of you who know that I work with Dane Thomas in Spiral, and he's always like, I don't know what you do, you're a womb or something. He'll talk about sales stuff and things and he'll be like, yeah, but she's just different. She does it a different way. It's feminine or something. And so now is literally the first time that I'm feeling to start to share, what is it that I do? So I'm sharing it with you here, and I'm actually decided that next week I'm going to start sharing it as well in my private Facebook group. I'm like, okay, it's time that I give away some of what my secret is and don't keep this secret all to myself. But it's literally the magnetism. It's literally that people feel pulled in and drawn in by my energy. And the reason they feel that way is the connection that I have to my womb and the connection that I have to just dropping into my own being and holding a genuine space. When I spend a lot of my time making sure that I'm in my body, making sure that I'm actually connected. Am I here when I'm talking to people, or am I out here somewhere in just 1,000 miles an hour and having 10 conversations with people so nobody else can feel me? Or am I genuinely with the person? And it's if I'm bringing my attention to something, my attention is 100% with it. If I'm on a Zoom call with you, I'm looking at each and every one of you and I'm with you. None of my energy is anywhere else. And so I'm bringing that same level of attention to what I'm doing. So if I'm launching a program, for example, I will sit with that program and I will give it all of my loving attention. I will come to a genuine space of like, what is this offering going to give to people? Not what am I going to get? Not how much is it? Not like I need to sell 10 spaces because then I'm going to make $20,000 and then that's going to pay I never ever go into that space. But I do sit there in this space of like, from a real genuine hearted place, this offering I'm about to put out, what is it going to give to people? And who are the people that I want to come into that space? Who are the people that I want to receive? I can literally feel tears welling up in my eyes of like the goosebumps covering my body. This is the energy that I get into if I want to call in my clients, is I allow it to literally be where I feel welled up. I feel teary. I've got goosebumps over my body when I can sit and think, I'm going to do this offering and it's literally going to and it's literally going to give a gift to all of these women who come into this space with me. And I want to call in the right women, and I'll take myself into meditation with that, and I'll drop deeply into my heart, and then I'll drop into my womb. And for those of you who do womb work, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, it's all right. Like, just place your hands over your womb. It's your creative center. It's your space that is able to magnetize and call in. For those of you that are mothers, it's magnetized and called in a child. It's birthed a child. It can magnetize and call in and create and birth, whether you have or you have not got children. I don't have children, yet my womb is constantly birthing and creating and calling in. So from that place, once I get into that space of like, what is this calling for? What is this course for? What is Healy for? What do I want to do with Healy? Not what does everybody else want to do with Healy? What are the women that I want to call in? And I think we talked a little bit about it on the last call of like, everyone who I've called in wants to do it from a genuine space. Same with Leanne, hence how she ended up calling me in. It's like, we all want to do this from a genuine space. We don't want to go out in the intense rah, 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 you have to buy this, I'm selling it, you're crazy if you don't buy it. We're all sitting in this energy of like, this thing is amazing and I want more people to have it. And so with Healy, it's sitting in that space, which is exactly what I did before the promotion. I was supposed to be having 10 days offline, and Healy launched a promotion, and I sat there and I was like, of course you're going to launch a promotion when I want to be offline. And I thought, okay, I'm willing to be online for this only, not for anything else, because I believe in this, but also I'm not willing for it to be difficult. I'm only open to this being easy, and this is the number of women that I want to call in. And I sat with it, and I sat with the Healy. I feel tears come again. As I asked, like, who are my soulmate women? Who are the people that I really want around me? Who do I want to call in? And what do I want it to bring to their life and to their world? And how do I want it to add to their lives, both privately, but also to start to bring them more income? And once I came to that place where I was welling up with tears and goosebumps, it's like, okay, so this is now coming from a genuine place. This is coming from my heart. This is true. This isn't just me being like, great, Healy's having a promotion. How much money can I make? I honestly don't know how much money I made during that promotion. I'm clueless. I haven't even looked at it. I just know that I wanted the right team, and I know I wanted a certain number of people to come into my field. And I'm sure when I go later and I have a look at the little iPayout thing that tells me what money is sitting in there, I'll be like, oh, that's amazing. That's beautiful. But it wasn't coming from that space. But what I do know is when I'm in this genuine place, I will always get paid for my time, and I always will get paid generously for what I'm doing, because I'm coming from this aligned place and I'm coming from my heart. So it's bringing that emotion to it first, and then I drop down into my womb, and it's like, to kind of give you some context on what that would be so you can do it, is once that emotion wells up. So I got my eyes closed, not looking at you, so I can explain what I feel. I'm more a feeler than I am at words. So I need to just try to put my feelings into words. But once that emotion and that sensation, that feeling arises, and I can feel it in my heart, and I feel my heart swells, which is why there's so much emotion that comes, is I allow that to drop down into my womb or my womb space. You don't have to have a physical womb to work with the womb space. Same thing. Men can do this. It's not just a woman's thing. So drop down and allow that energy. And it feels like, when I drop into it now, it feels almost like a waterfall. It kind of drops down and sinks and sits into my womb. And from that space, I drop into meditation. And I drop into this place of connecting and breathing with my womb. And once I feel like I'm connected into my womb and I'm still really in this heart space, is I ask my womb to reach out and to call, to magnetize. And I allow her to do the work. I allow her to come into a state of vibration to send out that transmission, whatever that transmission was that came in my heart, whatever that gift is that I'm holding in my heart, the people that I want to call, holding it and bringing it into my womb. And I just trust her to transmit it out to the world, and she will call in the right people. Now, obviously I've done six years of womb work, so there's definitely, like a lot of work that I've been doing around the womb, but still there's this, you can simply just breathe into her and connect to her and just start to acknowledge her and be aware of her. It doesn't have to be, doing 6 years worth of womb work. It just has to be honoring and acknowledging that, oh, right, I have this womb space and she is really powerful. And the womb is the place of creation. And if I am able to create from this, then I can create my own reality. I can create my own future. If I can create my own reality and I can create my own future, then I can literally become a master creator of my reality and of my life. So therefore I'm choosing this as my future, and it's a given. So like sitting there that day with my Healy and getting that emotion and bringing it into my womb and sitting with it and just asking her, like, call in my soulmate women, call in the women who I want to spend time with. I mean, let's be honest, we're creating like a business and a community together. I would like to call in the women that I like and that I want to spend time with, It's like, that kind of sounds way more fun to me than calling in people who I don't have an alignment for, and they're probably a better match with somebody else. Like, not because of anything other than like, it doesn't align. And so therefore I'm like, well, you probably actually are better off joining a different team, because I'm not the whatever it is that you think I am. I'm this. And so with the Healy, it was dropping into that and creating this reality of, it's so interesting. So I said in that, I was like, I want a minimum of 10 women to sign up to this. I want a minimum of 10 soulmate clients, Healy women, whatever you want to call it, community, can't even think of the right word right now. But I want at least 10. If I'm keeping on my phone for a period of time that was set aside for a sacred 10-day womb retreat for myself, where I was supposed to be going into a certain space. And, amazingly, like, I had got a beautiful house here. I had got cleared my schedule of all clients. I had really set a lot of time. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, then I'm calling in a minimum of 10. And literally from that place, like, I've come from my heart. And once I've come from my heart, it's like, now this is what I'm expecting. I'm basically putting in my order to the universe and remembering that we are in instant manifestation right now. I just birthed a company in 2 days. Like, no one can tell me we are not in instant and have my first client who wants to pay anything. Here's my credit card number, just charge it. So no one can tell me that we are not in instant manifestation, because I'm not going to listen to you, because we are in it. It's just whether you're choosing to tune into it or whether you're not. And it's a choice for all of us. Do you want to tune into it? And do you want to start to live in this reality that thankfully we're getting to live in, which means like the whole world is changing and new dimensions and new realities are opening up to us. Like, do you want to tap in and live in that? Because I don't know about you, I sure do. Because I got to say, if we've been going through like the kind of human 3D shit hell hole that we've been in for however long, and especially this year, if we're going through this, there better be a fucking golden pot at the end of this rainbow, because I'm not sitting in this bullshit unless that's where we're going, because otherwise I'm not interested. So I know that at the end of this, like, it's probably not a rainbow. It's kind of like a bit of a shit rainbow right now. At the end of this shit rainbow, I know that there is the pot of gold. I know there is, because I'm already like pulling my coins out of that big pot of gold. I've been swimming through the shit, and now I'm like, thank you. I've got my piece of gold, and I'm going to have like another piece, and I'll have some more, because I know that when I took one piece of gold out of the pot and 10 more went in. That means there's enough for all of us. So I'm certainly freaking choosing to live in this at least 5D and above, which is kind of where I am, which is why I say like filling the water bottle was a little bit like, whoa, I don't even know how to do this anymore. This is very fucking strange, because we're dancing right now between multiple dimensions and multiple realities for a lot of us. We're kind of time dimension dancing, and it can be extremely uncomfortable for those of us that are doing it. And I did a post today kind of say, can everyone wake up already? Like, can you hurry up and shift dimensions already, please? Because this is quite intense. And because I'm experiencing what's here. Because I know there's the instant manifestation. I know that we get to have everything we want. I know we get to create our own reality. I'm living it. I'm experiencing it every day. And so through that, when it's from that heart space and deciding this is the outcome I want minimum of 10 women to sign up with me this week. And I'm demanding it. It's like, well, if universe, soul, God, whomever you are, if you have aligned this so that when I'm having my sacred time out, that this is what you want me to be doing, I will do it. I will 100% do it. I'm all in for doing it. But this is what I expect in return. And I won't accept anything less than that in return. So it's holding these different spaces of what's my genuine truth? Why am I doing this? Beyond the money. And it's so freaking difficult when we're in survival mode. Like, it's so difficult from that place. I have lived 99% of my life in the survival mode, so I fully get it when it's like, yeah, but I kind of have to have someone sign up to this program or buy this Healy, because otherwise I don't even think I can like get food this week. I lived most of my life there, so I understand that. But we need to have the self-responsibility and the discipline to go, okay, like, this is my reality. Yes. Like, I've got to freaking find a way to pay these bills 100%. And I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to trust. And even if we can only drop into it for a couple of minutes a day, even if it's literally like, okay, like all of the bills and all of the worries, like just sit over there for a minute, go and put your Healy on, do a Jodi meditation, and then drop into it, and then let the rest of the world come back in. The bills aren't going anywhere. The crazy ass life isn't going anywhere. It's still going to be there when you've finished dropping in and magnetizing. But you cannot call in your soulmate clients or call in your soulmate people into your life from that space of scarcity and lack and fear, because you're just magnifying more scarcity and lack and fear. So there needs to be self-responsibility and discipline to put it on the shelf for a minute. Go, I don't know, if you're busy mom and like got children everywhere, like go into the toilet and lock the toilet door for a minute, and outside of that toilet door is all of the issues. And inside that, like, lock yourself in your wardrobe. I don't know, but just for a minute, put yourself somewhere and be like, okay, all those bills and all that drama and all that stress and all of that stuff that's happening in my life, I'm energetically, it's in my field. I'm just going to place it outside that door for a minute. I know it's still going to be there. I know I haven't magically made it go away, but I am magically making it go away, because I'm magical as fuck and I'm a witch, and I'm going to sit here and create my own medicine in this little toilet. I'm sitting here with my cauldron and I'm going to do medicine and creation. And energetically, like, right, that goes out there for a minute. And just for a minute, I've got my own energetic space. And just for a minute, I'm going to drop into that. I'm going to allow myself to be in. How can I allow? And maybe for you, it doesn't instantly come to like tears and goosebumps, but coming to that genuine place of, this is why I'm doing this. This is truly beyond all that stuff that's sitting outside the toilet door or the wardrobe door. This is why I'm doing this. Drop it into your womb. Ask your womb to call in the right people. And then once you've come to that space of like, okay, I'm magnetizing, I'm calling in, I'm coming from my heart, I'm allowing my womb to call in and magnetize, then make your demands from there. Universe, God, whomever it is for you, I'm like here to do my soul work. Like no one can tell me that anybody on this Healy path isn't doing their soul work. So I'm here doing my soul work. I'm here doing what you've asked of me. God, universe, goddess, I'm doing exactly what you've asked of me. I'm showing up. Now, because I'm showing up, my demand is that you call in for me 10 amazing women. And then look what happens. 18 turn up because it's coming from that genuine place. And we're starting to realize that we do get to place our orders right now. We actually get to kind of demand for them. But when I say demand for it, it has to be from that energy. It can't be from the I'm stressing out and I'm online and I'm looking at the bank account and looking at the bills and going, fuck. And then being like, oh God, universe, you got to give me, I'm demanding 10 clients. And I got to tell you, you're going to get a kick up the ass because there's no one's going to show up. You're going to end up with 0 clients and or 0 Healy people or zero soulmate people around you unless you can start to bring this in. And, you know, Healy is one of the most amazing tools for getting us into that space. Jodi meditations is also another way. It's like, well, if you literally can't even manage to lock yourself in the toilet or into a wardrobe, then lay in bed and listen to your Jodi meditation. And once you've listened to your Jodi meditation and you're in that space just before you go to sleep, then bring in this energy. So there's always a way. There's kind of like basically no excuses right now on why we can't do it, no matter how busy we are or how much we're in this survival space. Just find a way to do it. Yeah, totally. And that's the thing, right? Is like it's totally a command coming from a creatrix space. Like it's that place of I do create my own reality. Like that's just a fact. And you all do. And I won't listen to anyone who says that we don't create our own reality because we do, even when it's horrendous. And I got to tell you, in my lifetime, I've created some pretty fucking shit realities that I don't want to own the fact that I created them. Because, yeah, I'm literally writing a book about some of them. That's how sometimes when I talk about bits of my life, people are like, what? Are you kidding me? You've had all of that. I'm like, yeah, it's been fucking hell. I've got to tell you, I lived through 10 hells to get to where I am right now. And you know what? When I'm here, I can look back at all of that shit. I can look back at the fucking nightmare life that I had at times. And I am grateful for it because I would not be right here without it. And so I'm happy to own the fact that I created that, and I created that so that I could be here in this reality right now. And so I have to take responsibility for that so that I know I am also creating my future in every given moment. So when it is that space of like, I demand that I will have my 10 soulmate Healy women show up, I'm saying that from a place of like, I already know it's happened. So it's kind of coming from this place of like, I'm demanding it, but like, also I know it's already reality because I can see that reality. I've already jumped forward into it. It is there. Everyone take a breath. Just like ranted at you as soon as you got on for 30 minutes. But that channel has been like buzzing since probably about midnight. It's been sitting there and I've been like awake and trying to go back to sleep. And this part of me that's like, but we've got to do the call now. I'm like, we're not doing the call just yet. So there's been that transmission wanting to come through. I would love to probably like drop us into a little bit of a meditation to play and to practice with that if people are open to doing that. We'll probably just do it for like a short one for about 10 minutes or something. We want to try and keep this call to about 45 minutes because Leanne will share with you what's happening after. But yeah, I think let's just do that for 10 minutes so I can try to transmit a bit of a felt sense of what that might be for you in your experience. So if you just want to get yourself comfortable, and if you're in a space where you can close your eyes, close your eyes. Those people that are off screen, if you're driving or something, please do not close your eyes. Just closing your eyes. And just starting to follow the breath for a moment. And as you're following that breath, just setting the intention that with each in-breath, you bring your own energy into center, and that with each out-breath, you release anything that isn't this moment. Just cycling of bringing yourself into center, releasing everything that isn't this moment. Just a couple more breaths here. Beautiful. And as you're starting to come to center, just starting to bring Healy into your awareness. And with this little device, whether you have it yet or you don't have it, it's already in your field. It's already called you to it. It's already aligned for you. Otherwise, you would not be here. So just if you have not even received it yet, just knowing and trusting that it's called you for a reason. And if you have received it yet, and just allowing yourself to tune into the energy that you know that it brings into your world. Either way, both are just as powerful. And just feeling if this little device, if you could do one thing with this little device, if you could make one change, if you could make one impact in the world, if you could have it reach one particular type of person or a group of people, who would it be? If you knew this was your little magical device, and literally from this magical device, you could make any change in the world. Support people in their health, support people in their growth, support the children who energetically need this support right now, support the elderly as they're coming towards the end of their experience here, support those who are ready to awaken and are scared to awaken, wherever it is for you. Now, as you start to tune into who that would be, I want you to start to feel in your heart, how would it feel for you to know, to absolutely know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you have made that shift and change for those people? And as you start to feel what it would be like to know that that had made that difference, that you had made that difference, start to amplify that feeling even more. Maybe for you, you can even tune in and connect to your soul and how your soul knows, actually, this is my purpose. This is what I'm here for, is to make this change in the world, is to impact this type of person. And just breathing into your heart. You might even want to sense or feel that whomever that type of person is that you would like to impact in this world, that you get to see the shift and the change in them, and you get to see and feel their excitement around what changed, their excitement around what's been holding them back for so many years and what they've been struggling with for so long. And as you start to feel that in your heart, coming from that genuine place of wanting to support the change, allow that energy to drop down into your womb, whatever way it is for you. For me, it feels like it's a waterfall dropping down. For you, it might be completely different. Whether you have a womb or you don't have a physical womb, just letting it drop into your womb space. And as that energy drops into your womb space, you might want to place your hands over your womb. Send your breath into your womb. Just sensing and feeling this energy. Knowing that this has come from the genuine place of your heart, a genuine place of you knowing that you are here to make a change in the world in whatever way it is for you. Just breathing into that energy in your womb, allowing it to expand as you breathe. That's it. And then you're just going to see, feel, or know that that energy starts to vibrate out from your womb. And as that energy starts to vibrate out from your womb, knowing that it is already going to find the people who are the perfect match for your frequency, for your vibration, for what you're calling in. Just allowing that energy to vibrate out, allowing it to connect in and to reach the right people. And there's people somewhere in the world right now who are receiving that vibration. And somewhere on an unconscious level, they're now already starting to look for you. They've felt that little ping of energy, and already things are in motion so that they will come into your field, so that they will know you, so that they will ask for what it is that you have to offer that is there to support them and their growth. And so from this place, as you send out that energy, make your loving demand to God, God consciousness, Goddess, the universe. Make your loving demand of what it is that you expect, of what it is that you're creating right now, the reality that you're stepping into in this moment. And as you make that loving demand, know that it's already done. That future reality is already created. There's nothing more that you need to actually do other than to be. People are already coming. It's already done. So just spending a moment centering into your own body, into your own being, using a breath to come back to center, to be aware of your own body, to be aware of where you're sitting. I want to use your breath or some touch. And from this space of really being anchored back in your own body, just for a moment holding a place of gratitude, that knowing that it's already done. You already create your own future in every given moment. So holding a moment of gratitude for self, a moment of gratitude for God, Goddess, universe, Allah, Buddha, whomever it is for you. Like, thank you for hearing me, for bringing forth what it is that is supposed to come into my field. And also for a moment holding some gratitude for your soul, the part of you that is driving you forward in this world, that is driving you forward in this reality. Part of you that's already been laying the breadcrumbs to lead you to each place, to bring you into the right fields of people. And as you remember that your soul is following the breadcrumbs that brings you, say, to this people or into this field of people, from there, remember, so I just placed some breadcrumbs for those people who are coming into my soul field, the same as somebody placed breadcrumbs for me to come into this field. It's already pre-written. A soul is just following where it needs to go. And so exactly the same way you came here is exactly the same way that your soulmate team are coming in. It's already done. They're already on their way. And so just placing your hand on your heart and one on your womb. Just taking 2, no, we'll do 3 nice breaths here just to close. One more. There we go. That's called creating magic together. That's why there's no reason to worry when people say you're a witch. Yes, I am, because they just create realities, and that's what they do. I am a witch, a medicine woman, a shaman, or whatever it is for you. It's like, of course I am, because I drop into my energetic space and I create futures. So that's it. So, yeah, I've kind of got 2 minutes left. So I feel like if you maybe just do in the chat box rather than share, if that was supportive for you, if you feel like you kind of received something from that. Just so I'm aware that it was useful. If for anybody it's kind of a bit like, what the hell, you're always you're always more than allowed, like, welcome to private message me if there's anything you want to know. Yeah, very much welcome messages from anyone in our team. So if it brings anything up for you, and I feel like this type of work is more my gift in this space than anything else. So I'll continue to do different offerings like this for us, and different ways for us to keep on calling in our ultimate teams and to grow that way. So that's me done. Thank you, darlings.
Wow. I was like, how grateful to be in this community. Thank you for doing that. That was, yeah, so grateful. Yeah, there's a few messages coming through. There's a lot to learn, and oh wow, so many of us. I've got tears. Wow, so many of us, like who came from corporate, have just been like wired tight, and beautiful women that I'm connected with, and I still see people doing with like big to-do. I can't even speak to-do lists.
Yeah.
And still running traditional businesses in sort of, I say so 2019, so last year.
Totally.
We are in such a beautiful time. I watched you call in your community, and I think it's fair to say for all of us, well, particularly for you and I, Superior, we sat for a long time. We knew what we wanted to create. We knew how we wanted to feel moving forward. And we've all been in different businesses where it's not been quite right. And I just feel like we get to create whatever we want in this space. And yeah, thank you. I'm just so grateful to be part of something that's really making a difference,
Yeah.
So I don't know how other people feel. So at 11 a.m. we've got an energy update from Lorraine, and so if you've got time to jump on that, that's just 10 to 15 minutes, and that's she'll be very vigilant with what she shares, but it's like she's very connected to Uluru. She's got Indigenous ancestry, and so that's going to be profound as well. But yeah, like we have time if people want to jump in and share. Does anyone else feel that emotion?
Also, for anyone who's in different time zones, that 11 a.m. is in like 15 minutes or 14 minutes. It's for anyone who's like, when is that? Yeah. Is that on, where do we go to do that? Is that in the group, or is that also on Zoom?
I'll share the link. I think most people are on that invite, so
great
for that. But yeah, like, I'd love to hear from someone, like, how did you find that? Like, many of you are actually in Saphira's community. I just want to point out that for those who are in my community or catching the replay and are not in Saphira's, she has a lot of free forums, a lot of, where she shares her work. And I think it's really important. Like, I was like, what does this girl do? I didn't quite get it. And it's like, the more I learn and the more I just realize that we've all come from different different experiences of life. And it's like, Sophia is just harnessing like those gifts and sharing. And it's like, just such a beautiful way to build enterprise. And I love that you shared, you like, go for it, because so many times I've held back a little bit, going, oh, I don't know how this will be received. I think the important message here is that it doesn't matter. Just go for it, because you're being called to shift and change. You know, when you get responses from people, oh, think about it, or oh, it feels heavy, or it's not quite right. I think we both experienced that. And I think if you are getting those responses from people, you just get to let that go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, and those who are like would like to receive more of the magnetism, I think I'm pretty sure it'll be next week. I'm about to launch dates, but I'm doing a 5-day free mini course in my Womb Alchemy with Zephyria group. So yeah, anyone is welcome to come join that. It's kind of obviously not as specific to Healy, but it's 5 days of how to be radiantly magnetic and how to really bring this energy into your world for obviously everything. So everybody is welcome to that as well.
Thank you. I'll share a lot of your links and stuff to the free groups and that when once you've posted the recording, so that all the community can get access to your beautiful space. What else was I going to share? There was just one thing that I've just forgotten. I've got like things pinging me. In that meditation, I actually just called in some specific people, and they're just pinging me now, which is really interesting.
That's how it works, honey. That's how it works. Like,
yeah, you definitely create magic. Yeah.
This is the reality we're in, and like we're all in it, even when we don't feel like we're in it. Like we are all in it. You just need to give yourself even a few minutes every day to really feel the space that we're in, and keep on watching the people who are tuned in. I think I shared something about a pot of gold or something. Heaven knows where that even came from. I have no idea ever what I'm going to say. It just comes out of my mouth. So it's I think it's something about the end of the shit rainbow. But so anyway, so what comes out of my mouth some days I'm like, really? But keep watching. If you're kind of sitting there a bit like, oh, like I'm not in that energy right now, which is like fine. Like it's a lot of people. Keep on watching and tuning into people who you see are in that energy, and just keep on receiving that energy as much as possible, because it shifts and changes things. That's one of the ways that I did it, was like, okay, I'm not in the right space, but I'm just going to keep on being in everybody else's transmission and keep on listening to it. Especially, people who were talking about money, and I was in this massive debt and freaking out and unable to pay anything very recently, like only a few months ago. And I was like, oh my God, I can't watch these people talking about wealth, and that if you just like demand it, it comes. I'm like, it's bullshit, I'm in debt. And I just kept on watching and watching and watching and watching and watching. And I'm like, for the first time in my life, I have, like, literally for the first time in my life since I was 16, I had my first credit card. For the first time in my life, I am completely debt free, and I have savings, and I'm looking at investing for the, like, other than in property. I have an apartment, but I'm looking at like, oh, what else can I invest my money in? That has never happened. It's 45. It took me till 45 to figure anything out about money. But a lot of it was just like, even when it was super uncomfortable and thinking, shut up, I just kept sitting in their field and sitting in their field and sitting in their field and absorbing it and absorbing it and absorbing it. And then it just goes and it shifts and changes. So just keep on following the people who are dipping into that. And when I speak about the gold at the end of the rainbow, for me, it wasn't about money. It's just about manifesting, but just keep on finding the people that are tapped into that and listening to them and being in their spaces as much as you can, and it will shift. I guarantee it. Amazing. Thank you.
Boom, thank you.
So much, darlings.
I just love that you made the decision. I felt the energy shift. You just decided, and I'm like, oh, I'm riding this wave. I just decided to, and the both of us kind of went in sync. So it's like you'll find people will all come together with that. Like, be like, she just decided today. Like Joe's all in. I'm like, oh, I'm going that way, and I do the same. Like Nikki will message me and something, and I'll be like, yes. Danielle, you've said stuff, and I've gone, yes. So it's just about keeping each other accountable and being aware of our language, and the threads and things like that. Because we're even the language we use, like understand, is like demeaning. It's like under the stand. It's like, just think about the language that we connecting with. And my vision being the community of choice, like where people are knocking on your door going, I don't know what you're doing or how you're doing it. I just want to be part of it. And every single one of us, we're excited to bring all your skills and your knowledge and your wisdom on these as well. So it's not just Sapphira and myself kind of leading the way. We really want to bring and harness your star gifts as well. And it's like, some people don't even know what they are, and how exciting we get to draw that out. This is going to be magic.
Fun, amazing, awesome, darlings. Well, thank you. I'm going to get on this next call as well, so I'll go check out the link, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.